Hi everyone, this is Wise Exotics. I'm just a guy who grows Nepenthes as a hobby. I find these plants very fun. This is mainly a video channel that I do to log and see how my plants are doing and what I've done right, wrong. So let's go from there. Usually I start with good and bad type of things, what's going on, what's been going on. So as a good thing, I did take the light out of the greenhouse to bring in here to add a little more light to just brighten it up. It's very bright. The plants seem to be okay with it. I haven't noticed any significant improvements or coloring, but some suggestions were to add a little more lighting. I don't try to have too much light because these plants are currently in either a greenhouse or a bright glass room that gets, as you can see, sun nearly 24/7 if I want it, but usually they get sun from 5:30 in the morning to about 5:30 at night, and then I turn off the lights. That's just how I do it. So we'll go down here. I did lose in my secret rose I was growing. It apparently got root rot. Now, mind you, secret rose is a slightly rare rose to grow, and they're very hard to grow because you need a certain amount of clay and acidity. I don't think there's been successful cuttings of those officially sold since 1997. So I was happy I was able to do it, and I do have a full rose outside that I can use for cuttings at any time. So I'm going to attempt to do that. So one issue is the cephalotus got attacked, so I'm putting it in here. You might be wondering what attacked it. I basically came out here after work, and the plant was entirely covered in mites and aphids and white fly. It just got attacked by everything. So the leaves were turning yellow. So I actually found there were two cephalotus in there. One did a division, so I did divide it. The division did not do well. It died after a few days. The main mother plant seems to be doing fine. Hopefully it did have a yellow leaf this morning that it fell off. So I'm hoping it comes through. This was purchased from Curious Plant. It's been doing fine other than this, so I don't know why. None of my other plants were, as you can see, attacked. This is a yellow pepper. That is a Sarracenia Cates by. I brought it in here because the winter was just getting a little too hard for it, but it's already coming back pretty strong. Coming in here, there are the two sibling plants right here in the back. This one and this one, which are this species. Purchased them from Joshua Cordera's plant. I did have he had 4 of these. I had 3 of them. I lost 1 and bought the other 2. So I don't know if he has the third still. But they've been very solid, great plants. Very diverse between these two. Globos Ampullaria F2. Very nice little red orbs. Remind me of those red Christmas tree ornaments almost. Very spherical. Beautiful redding coming in from the Ampullaria Black Miracle line. Nepenthes Album-Mariginatas. I've got 2 reds, a much more mature plant. Don't know why that moved. And a seedling that I've been growing that came to me from Fly Traps tissue culture in Hawaii. Of all places, I don't know why. A bunch of these are either Globos Ampullaria, Cross Rafflesia, Globasa Rafflesia. Extremely complex one I bought from Talar. I just call it lemon cherry because it's got these very pretty lemon yellow stripes with dark reds intermixed. It's almost like marbled. It's very pretty. Nepenthes Suki, Glaminophora x tennis, Nepenthes Binky, Talogenesis x Pediolata, Sun Pitcher. Now, the main pitcher that was carnivorous, I thought was getting colored, just started rotting away, which is normal for this species. But then it's got like a normal leaf coming out, so I'm not sure if that's a non-carnivorous leaf or less carnivorous leaf. So if anybody knows more about sun pitchers, please comment and let me know. This is my first and only one. Globasa Rafflesia. That's all these 3 are. I have like 4 of those. Now, there is some variants. Some look like Rafflesia, some look like Globasa. Whilst Rafflesia seems to take the most. This is a white, pure Rafflesia right here. Doesn't like the picture for me. My other Ampullaria Black Miracle F2 was a little sun sensitive. It was getting burnt, so I hid it over here. Rafflesia, Crossgoblassa, Ampullaria Black Miracle, so it's like inverted of the other three. Now, I did have another issue with this one, which I already said is Petiolata X Tennis. It's never pictured for me, number one. I have had 3 basils and 1 main plant. The main plant got scorched and died. The 3 basils remained, and they were doing okay. They grow very slowly. I came out here, and it got torched by something. I mean, it's burnt. One of the 3 basils basically is gone. It became charcoal, so I'm going to hide it in the back there. I'm thinking anything right in this front area just gets way too hot unless you're red. Red actually will reduce lighting and damage to them. So as I get up. Most of these are spectabulous crosses on this side. Some of these are varied. These are my vivid machines right here, which are from predatory plants. Beautiful plant. Some nice striping coming in on a few of them. My Belii cross Aristocridoid, Aristo. I just call it Aristo. Belii X Aristo is doing very well. Now, I have 2 seed grown. This one is plant B. This is plant A. Plant A has a basil, grows like a weed. Plant B just kind of grows normally. My Raja Ima still does not give me a picture, but huge leaves. I love its leaves. Spectabulous Ex Ventricosa, that was seed grown. I've got 2 of these. Now where the other one is probably in here somewhere. I believe it's right next to it. Yeah, right here. So this one and this one are seed siblings. I tried to get a few seed siblings just to see some variants. My Ventrata wasn't doing very well. I kept drying out and it was falling over, so I've just repotted it. It seems to be doing a lot better and happier. Behind it is my Pure Glaminophora. This thing is driving me nuts. Number one, it was in the lowland tank. This one. As you see all these spots, it actually releases nectar off of those, and you think those are water drops? They're not. They're just sticky nectar goo. And it just became a pain. Now, over here is one of my larger plants, Spectabulous Crossvicii, BE3664. I love the coloring. It's pink, orange, with yellow, a lot of striping, very thin striping. So it just has class, in my opinion. Nepenthes Bongso, or Clipiated Cross Bongso. This was an oops from Mike Fallen. A lot of Ventrata. Mira Spectabulous Pasiana, Cross Platykyla. It's actually got a nice little picture right here, as you can see. Good form. Over there is Belii, Ventricosa, Lowii, I believe. Right in the middle there. That's a confirmed male. This is a Truncata mirabilis / Mirabilis Raja / Thimbleton Raja Mira. It's a very something like that. It's a complex one. I got it from Todd's Tropical. Very hardy. Probably the hardiest plant. I've had it in full sun. It doesn't care. I've had it in low sun. It doesn't care. Oh, my snake peeked his head out. This is a Western hognose. They are actually venomous. They have rear fangs, so they're not like a fang here. They have a fang in the back of their jaw. So, random inquiry there, if anybody cares. Okay, so going over here. Queen Malini seems to be losing one of its pictures. So when people were moving things around, they punched this and it was deflated. I reinflated it, hoping that wouldn't stress it, but I think it's going to lose it. It did have a nice new picture, but again, someone moved this that wasn't supposed to and cracked it. Beautiful nectar coming out, good shiny peristome. I've grown this one outside. I've grown this one. So Queen Malini is a very durable and easy starting plant. I highly recommend because it does make big pictures that look nice, and it's very durable, to say the least. So I did have a new plant, so this is a good. Sadly, I had ordered this right after I saw it because it was for about $20 or $30 for a cephalotus. Look how big this is compared to my other one. It's a purple variant. Now, I'm just kind of trying to keep the bag a little closed. Cephalotus and Nepenthes are what are called convergent species. Yes, convergent. Sorry, the birds were like, what? Convergent? Convergent species means it's a convergent evolution, which means two species in separate regions or areas grew identically without ever being in contact with each other, without influencing each other at all. So keep that in mind. Glaminiflora across Burgundy Glaminiflora, I'm sorry. Nice pictures, very stripy. Diotis, Raja peltata. Not to be confused with Leviathan. This is Behemoth, which is mine. It's a different strain. It's the BE one, so I just call it Behemoth so I remember. That is a Hamada cross Aristo. It's actually got a basil right in there with it. There we go. I have to see what I'm doing. Let's see. There is a Bongso Clypeida in there as well, if I can. If it let me in to see it. Okay, I'll come in from the side. So right there is the Clypeida Bongso. This is a Nepenthes Jekylliniae, or Glendiflora speculata ex Jekylliniae. I like this one because if you compare it to the two plants next to it, it's a very pale yellow. Where all the other plants are like this darker green or kind of like a vibrant green. This is a pale yellow, and look at its picture. Same thing, very pale yellow with like a pink rim. It's actually its first picture, so I'm really excited that it's doing well. Another Clypeida ex Bongso, Diabolica crussingulana. I believe they're called like Metallica or something like that. Let's see, Raja Exmira, I believe. Yeah, that was a seed-grown one. So it's got a nice big leaf jump. Nepenthes Clypeida did have a damaged leaf, but it's got a new leaf that is rounder and is more to form a Clypeida. So I'm really excited to see that. Clypeidas have this beautiful little bell, good form. This is a seed-grown one, pure. This is Hamada AW1. As you can see, it looks like the growth tip is just popped and it's about to pop another one. I'm hoping that means it's coming out of the damage that it had from the root rot. So, yeah. Next to it here, I can't remember what that is. Glendiflora ex Veitchii telegenesis. Nice picture. I don't know why it's way over there. Next to it here is a Clypeida across Loei Veitchii. Nice form, color, very yellow of Veitchii. It's actually got a new picture right there. Speaking of Veitchii, this is the Mike Fallen K1 cross M2 number 4 of the seed grown he had released. Pictures are huge on this thing. It's got a huge leaf jump. It's doing really well. Just to give an example, this is a Veitchii of about the same age and size. The pictures are tiny. What'd you do, Mike? Did you give it steroids? These pictures are huge. So I have a feeling this one's going to have a very big pictures when it's an adult. A little worried about that. I wasn't actually expecting that to be that big. This is Big Mama X Pink Candy Cane. This is Maliu Basin, which is a reserve sanctuary for these plants and various others. This one is from Tissue Culture of Floric Labs, so it's safe to buy from. This is from a local seller here near me, who's about 30 minutes away. He just grows these only. This is a Batabuli. Batabuli. It's such a weird name. Nepenthes Veitchii. Doing good. Nice leaf jump. It pictures okay. The same size as the Pink Candy Cane. So those two are kind of what I call standard picture sizes. That Mike Fallen one is just crazy. That's an Ovada, a Rubicantly Ovada, doing well. Dactophilia, nice little picture there. This is a Truncata Spectabilis or Spectabilis truncata. I'm not sure about it as an unknown plant. I love its coloring, you can see. It's definitely Spectabilis because Spectabilis all do this ground crawly thing. Next to it over there is the Maxima. Then over there is Minimum Mollis, which is that one. In this corner, we have Mira, which is from Tissue Color, AW1 Raja, cross Loei Veitchii. I don't remember what happened to this because half of it just got cut off. I believe it's a Raja Burgundy cross Sterophilia. It's got a nice little picture there with stripes. Raja Burgundy crossed either Edwardsiana or question mark Velosa. This is a seed grown. It has very nice teethiness. That's all I care about. This one actually has a nice one. This is a Glendiflora. Or not Glendiflora. This is a Raja Cusperburgity. Beautiful picture. Beautiful shape. Perfect form. I'm very happy with it. Going down here, Diotis. This is also a Diotis. One is from Flora, one is from BE. I just want to see how the two grow together. This is my seed-grown Truncata. Started really tiny, but it's slowly gaining speed. Nepenthes. That is from Josh's Carnivorous Plants, same as those other two in the lowland. Doing really well. That's it. Oh, this is a VGI Mira. It was having some problems. It's like a plant growing in here. I know these are plants. I don't. What the heck? All I saw was this little sprout. I'm like, oh, I found this huge. Like cabling of root. I don't know what this is. How intriguing. Oh, that was trippy. It amazes me what plants do. Plants are very adaptive. Anyway, how I keep these going is because these these highland are a little more humidity sensitive. I make sure I've got the humidifier here. This sends out two forked fogs that just roll here and then settle down. That's how I mainly keep these happy. Now, I know I found someone who had another one of these. The seed sampling of mine. This is a Minima Diabolica, right? Yeah, Minima Diabolica seed grown. I love this one. I got this from Predatory Plants. No, Apex Plants. Sorry, had to think about it for a sec. I know a couple people have some of these. This one is the only one that I've seen that's like this red. So I call it Ruby in my head, just so I remember which plant is which. Put it back in its little hole. Very bright red leaves. Okay, moving on. Going down here to the Ultra-Highlands. Yes. So, I guess that's enough light. Okay, so we're going to go down the line here. This is a Velosa Hamada. I have tried to grow a pure Nepenthes Velosa. I didn't have luck. I trimmed it one day because I thought it was having issues, and then it had rapid rot. So there was a whole little video on that if someone wants to see. Someone thought it might be oxidation that caused it, too much oxygen from the cut causing it to get stressed. Possibly. I'm not a herbologist. I'm actually an engineer, so I do computer engineering and regular old engineering and various IT stuff. So keep that in mind. I'm more tech-based, so growing plants has never been a strong suit, so doing this is kind of my way to learn and try to grow plants and whatnot. This is my Hamada AW4. This is my Hamada BE 3975. Bought it for $90. Literally says it on the tag. I'm not sure if this one's just getting too much sun. Nepenthes usually don't have red leaves, or if some Hamadas have like a red stripe. So there is a red leaf Hamada, but they also can get sunburn. So right here is a good example. Nepenthes, if they're getting too much light, or even if it's intense light, they will actually put out almost like a waxy layer on their leaves. So you can actually see that on a few of the plants, mainly the Glendiflora. Glendiflora hybrid here, Pervergity, cross Glendiflora. Glendiflora itself usually does grow on cliffsides with intense light, so it makes sense that they can do this and not have too much problem. That's why I did that there. When I noticed it can do it, it can handle brighter light without much of a problem. Okay, going down the line, this is the Tempu Sissi. This is the Lumet variant. AW4, and then the BE. One thing of note is, and I say this every time, is the Lumet is a little taller and not as squat as this one. So as an example, this one has a little more flared peristome. The wings on the edge here are a little more flared out. And this species doesn't have that as much. And even on the newer leaves, it's very prominent, nice and toothy. But it's not as squat as its cousin over here. So keep that in mind. Down the road is my seed-grown Robocantleaf from Talar also. Same person I bought my Clopida from. He does a bunch of these. So when he pops something up on eBay, I do try to see if it's something I like. He's also who I got the Spectabulus exventricosas from. Here is Lemon Cherry's only surviving seed sibling. I lost one of them. This one wasn't doing too well, so I did clean it. What was it called? Hydrogen peroxide root cleaner on it, and neem oil and whatnot. And I put it in the Ultra-Highland chamber just to see if it'll do better. It seems to have just popped out of growth tip, so I'm hoping it'll recover and keep growing. Next to it is Raja Edwardsiana, doing really well. My Macrophilia, doing very well also. This Macrophilia is from 2018, so that should tell you how long it takes these to grow. Ultra-Highland, like Diabolica, Macrophilia, Edwardsiana, even Velosa, take a long time to grow. So if you want a plant with big, shiny, teethy, curl, like that grows slightly faster, I would recommend to start with a Hamata. My only little quip there. Now, this is a hybrid. This is Hamata Velosa. As I said, couldn't really cut it with a Velosa myself, but Velosa Hamata is also really pretty, so it takes more after the Velosa with a bit of like the Hamata coloring, so it's like red rimmed with these yellow teeth. It looks very interesting. My Diabolica does have a nice picture, so I'm very excited to see that. It's growing really well. This is the AW4 female, confirmed. I did try to grow a BE one. I do not recommend ever buying the BE just because they're too sensitive. You sneeze wrong, you do nothing wrong, they will die. Move on with life. It sucks. Rajas, another very sensitive plant. I've tried to grow Raja twice. One was from the Thomason's all, and one was from the regular Mount Lumi or something like that. It didn't do well both times. They started to grow and then failed. They're about that size. So keep in mind, when they're really tiny, they're very sensitive. This one is a little bigger than its tag, and it was on sale for a good price, so I decided to try again. It's growing very fine so far. We even got a new growth tip. I'm very hands-off on that one, trying not to repeat my issues that I've had prior. Next to it here is my Naga. Naga is doing very well. It just got a huge leaf jump. This one is a very complex one. It's Liliae, Veitchii, Boschiana, Veitchii, Maxima, cross Ventricosa, cross Platycot. Okay, I've got two of those because I bought one and it was entirely covered in moss, and then I cut the moss down. This one was in there too, barely alive. So I went, oh cool, free plant. I paid for one, I got two. Sweet. I did call them to tell them that there were two, and they said just keep it. So I do try to be at least honest with the people I buy from. Let's see. So if you're wondering about convergent evolution, I'm trying to find a good example. As you can see, the Nepenthes have these wings that go into their picture. So does the Cephalotus. Now, convergent evolution means that these two species evolved near identical traps and setups, but they were nowhere near each other. So these are from Malaysia, Indonesia, China, Philippines, Borneo, that type of thing. The Cephalotus folliculi is the only species of its type, and it only grows in one spot in Australia. Basically, they grow near a riverbed where Nepenthes vine upward, these vine to the side. So they're more like ivy. They're like a ground cover almost. But they themselves grew near identical traps. Now, they do have this M on their little things. Now, one thing I've noticed that these plants will do, even on my little one, is they'll actually close their lids when they're too low of humidity. So they actually have an indicator to tell you when you need to add a little more humidity to their growth pattern. So keep that in mind. I've only had this one for a few days, so it goes back in the bag. Now, this one is a lot larger, so I'm really excited to get a larger variant for a lot cheaper, so it's nice. gonna put this back on. Keep the Ultra-Highlands happy. I do air out this once in the morning, once at night. So I try to give all my plants a good air out time. But overall, they're doing really well. Now, if anybody cares, this is my silly little engineering thing because some of you said I needed more light. So I added this in from the greenhouse. It's on a pivot, swivel pivot that I designed, which is literally a screw. It's this high-tech engineered thing. No, I put a screw through it. A wood screw in it. Basically, using gravity feed, I can adjust it, turn it, rotate it in any angle I want, free floated. So it's in effect acting as a swivel stud system when in fact it's not. The reason I did this one is this screw that went through here was damaged and ripped out, as you can see. So I moved over the actual screw and I put a second one that was slightly bigger there just to act as an anchor to hold the light. Very simple, do it yourself. You can see how the lights are there. You can see a kitten. Meow. Meow. Okay, that's Minnie. I have a lot of animals if anybody hasn't figured this out. So a lot of cats, a lot of dogs, a lot of birds, a lot of snakes, lizards. I got one lizard, 2 snakes here. What was it like? Yeah, 6 birds. Thank you, Polo. Polo says hi. Polo's over there, and Hummer's over there. Yeah, so plants are doing fine. Bearded dragon, if anybody cares, is right there. His name is Rex. He hides behind the plants when he gets too sunny or hot. So they provide him shade and they get sun, and it's a nice little counterbalance of natural blockage for him. Plus, he likes greenery. He always likes to play in jungles. I do take him out and play in my yards and whatnot, but it's really cold outside, so this is about all he gets right now. I'm sorry, Rexy. If it makes you feel better, all the birds and lizards in here have a TV, and they do watch Roku. Mainly Peacock TV. It's really rude. Snake's out. Anywho, thanks for watching. If anybody has any questions or comments, leave them below. If there's a specific species in mind that you would like me to pull out and try to go into detail where it's from or environment and whatnot, again, I'm open to requests. Doesn't mean I have to do it, but I'm open to it. So thanks for watching. Wise Exotics out.